you are given a string in Python and you want to swap the adjacent characters in the string. Let's look at the use case with the help of an example. So let's say you have the string heat, HEAT, and you want to swap the adjacent characters. So swapping adjacent character essentially means that you want to swap the character H with character E. So these two characters get swapped, and then the character A gets swapped with character T. So we essentially get EHTA by swapping the adjacent characters. That H and E get swapped and A and T get swapped. So we get the resulting string EHTA. Now let's see if we can perform this operation directly for a string in Python or not. So we have our string in the variable s. What we're essentially doing here is that we're iterating through each of the even indices in the string. So we were iterating through the index 0, then index 2, and then we're essentially swapping the element at that particular index with the element, swapping the character at that particular index with the character at the next index. So you can see the syntax for the range function here. We are essentially starting from the start of the string and going to till the last, but not including the last character in the string, and taking a step size of 2, which will essentially give us the indices, even indices in the string, that is 0, 2, and so on. So, and then we're trying to swap the character at index I with character at index I plus 1. So if I execute this code, you can see that I get a type error. Now, the type error says that string object does not support item assignment. So we get this error because strings in Python are immutable. That is, once a string is created, you cannot really modify it. So here we are, after creating this string, we are essentially trying to change the character in a specific index, which is not allowed in Python. So, so how would we go about swapping the adjacent characters in a string? One way we can do it is that we can create a new string in which the adjacent characters from the original string are swapped with the help of a list. Now, the idea here is that we take the string that we have and create a list from the string itself, which will result in a string, which will result in a list of characters. And since lists are immutable in Python, we can then use the same logic that we iterate through the list elements, and we swap the element at index I with the element at index I plus 1. And here I again will iterate through the even indices starting from 0 in the list. So this will essentially swap the adjacent elements in the list, and then we can basically join the list elements together with an empty string to get a resulting string. So if we run this code, you can see that we get the resulting string EHTA, which is basically the string that we get after swapping the adjacent characters. Now, this logic can be packaged inside a function for it to be uh, reusable. So we are basically passing a string as an argument to this function, and this string and this function essentially performs the same steps. It creates a list from that string and then iterates through the list, swapping the adjacent elements in the list. And then we finally return the string resulting from joining the list elements after the swap operation. So we can directly use this function now. For example, let's say for the string heat, if we use this function, we get the same EHTA. Let's see another example. Here, the string is of odd length. That is, uh, for the element t, for the character t, we do not have any following character to swap it with. So if I run this function, you can see that we were able to swap the adjacent characters for C and A, but since for T it does not have any following character, it remained unchanged because strings with odd length do not have a matching character pair for the last character.